Bandai Namco from Software. Aloha, ladies and gentlemen. Havoc. Welcome to Let's Play Dark Souls. Now, I am going to be playing in offline mode, and that's because I have a video posted where I tried to play in online mode and got absolutely obliterated. But even after that death, I didn't care too much about that death. It was actually a really funny death. But the more and more that I tried to play it, I kept getting invaded non-stop trying to get up to the first boss. And I was just like, that's too many invasions. I'm not willing to do it. So we're creating a new character. We're going to go here to Delicate Blood, and we're going to make this character because no one really cared what I looked like or, any details like that. So I'm just going to make a character that I see fit, and we'll be playing accordingly. So I'm going to be female just because if I'm playing a game, I like the sight of a female more. Deprived. I actually had a few people ask me for a Deprived class, which surprised me. I didn't think there was going to be that many people interested in a Deprived. They're just very well balanced, and you can do anything you want with them. And they start off with nothing, so I guess that kind of makes sense. So even though I have dark purple, that's not going to be the case. So all these are going to change, get her as feminine and as young as possible, get a little piece of eye candy going on. Remove the green. Oops, actually I need to add the green. Oopsies. There we go, nice gray hair. And actually last time I did something, I made her eyes pink, because I enjoy the color pink on females, but the problem was it made her look like kind of like an albino rat. So rather than do that, we're actually going to drain the color from her eyes. So she has nice, dark black eyes. And then eyeliner and eyeshadow I'm going to max out, even though you can't really tell on this game what they do. It was a lot more noticeable in a different game. Get a little bit fewer eyebrows because I have to confess, I really enjoy girls who actually draw on their own eyebrows. And I like pale women. So, on the note of me liking pale women, here's a cinematic for you.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone skins. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign.
Yeah, it's like that. I love that opening sequence. Although it doesn't make any sense the first time you watch it. Or at least it didn't make a lick of sense to me the first time I watched it, so.
Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Welcome to Northern Undead Asylum. The rest of this video, guys and girls, guys and gals, is going to be nothing but me explaining a tutorial of the controls of the game. So if you're not interested in the controls of the game and just want to see gameplay, skip ahead to the next video. Otherwise, here we go. Very quickly, left joystick is going to move around our player character. Pushing it in does absolutely nothing. The right joystick does the exact opposite. It changes the camera angle around our character. Now, if I push it in, it's going to center it behind me, or it's going to log on to a target within a certain amount of range. It's also how I switch between targeted enemies, much like kind of like Fable or Legend of Zelda targeting. X is our all-purpose button. It is how we pick up items, open up doors, all that such. Square, we don't have a use for it yet, so as you can see, my character's going to kind of like shudder. But our square button is going to be linked to this box down here, this down box, where if I keep tapping down, there we go, a few little flashes. Circle has a whole bunch of uses. If I press it, it'll cause me to jump backwards. If I press it while pressing in a direction, even if I'm pressing forward, it's going to cause me to roll into some type of direction. If I hold it down, it'll allow me to sprint, and then if while I'm sprinting I tap it, oops, I messed that up because I did too sharp of a turn, but it allows me to do a running jump. Wow, I'm doing a terrible job of displaying this. There we go, running jump. Triangle, it only serves one function. It takes whatever's in your right hand and causes you to two-hand it. The advantage to two-handing is you deal more damage, as well as there are certain abilities and things you can do, like it's a different moveset. But that's really the only advantage to two-handing. You also get a 50% bonus to strength, and our strength is 11 at the moment. So half of 11, they rounded up. They're kind of gracious, would be 7, or wow, listen to me, 6, which would give us a total of 17. And then I already reviewed what square did, which at the moment does nothing. So the triggers that we're going to be using, our right trigger corresponds to our right arm, which is your fast attack. And then R2 is a stronger attack. And then likewise with L trigger, it activates our left hand. Now, I consider this the offhand, because normally you have a shield or like a parrying dagger in this hand. So the moveset's not going to be as aggressive. Like there you can see is a parry in and of itself. I can equip weapons into it. I probably won't. It's not a strategy that I like to employ. If I find easy enough enemies where I can goof off, I'll probably show it off at some point. There is a few extra things that we can do with the R1 and R2, though. If we press forward in R1, we have what's called a guard break, and in this case, it looks like a kick. Certain weapons have different guard breaks, so that will change. I'll try to make points of it when I can. Our R2, instead of just being a very strong attack, if we press forward in R2... Oh, I guess you can't break that bucket. Weird. It becomes a jumping attack, also known as a plunging attack, and I'll go into more detail when it's a plunging attack, because there's two ways to activate a plunging attack in this game. However, there is nothing for the forward L1 and the forward L2. So, womp womp. These boxes in the lower left-hand corner, they correspond to my directional pad. So down will activate the down one, and then I can hold up to 2 items in each hand. So in this case, I'll activate the left hand first because I have nothing there. So you're just going to see it activate, but I'm not going to switch anything because I don't have anything in my left hand. In the right hand, I have a sword and I have nothing. So now you're going to see me go down to nothing, and then pull back out the sword, get a better camera angle. And then the top box is used for spells and miracles and pyromancies, which I have none of. So at the moment, it's not even registering that I'm pressing the up button. Other things to note are down here in the corner, we have the amount of souls we have. That is basically like your in-game currency, although there's a lot of effects and attributes to that. I'll go into that later as those things arise. This number in the upper left-hand corner is my humanity. Now, humanity is a weird thing in this game, and I'll explain that as events come up, and as that number increases, there'll be slight benefits that I'll be able to make mention to. At the moment, though, it's 0. That's all you need to know. If it's glowing, like if it's a white color, and again, I'll point this out when I do it, I'll become human, and I won't look like this hollowed form. So there's human and hollowed. Both ages, not fun. Red bar is your HP. Obviously, that's your health in this game. You do have a set amount of health. It does not regenerate on its own. You have to use items, weapons, shields. You have to use something to heal yourself in this game. The green bar is my stamina, and that does recharge very fast, and there is ways to encourage it to recharge faster and ways to encumber it as well. Basically, any action I take between climbing ladders, moving backwards, swinging my sword, rolling, sprinting are all going to drain my stamina, including blocking and parrying, which at the moment I can't block or parry. Actually, switch that over real fast. So there you can see I'm blocking, and then I have an L2 attack. My L2 attack is to swing with it, but it's kind of slow and sluggish, not necessarily the most amazing. But I can block with it, so that's good. Last few controls, select button opens up a gesture menu, so I can activate gestures to taunt or, wave hello or, point onward. Yeah. They're cute little gestures, and they're funnier when you multiplayer. I'm debating whether or not I'll actually do any multiplayer for this game, because at the moment I'm playing offline. I might do something online. I don't know if I will, though, because unfortunately this game can get kind of ruined from people playing online, because there's a glitch at the moment that's not been fixed. Makes the game unfair. Last but not least, we have a start menu, and the start menu accesses things up here, but it does not pause the game. I can still move around. I can't swing my sword or anything, because now my controls are bound to what's up here. So like, if I press R1, it's going to scroll through those. So starting from left to right, here is our all-purpose inventory screen that shows us anything that we picked up or anything that we have on our body. So this first section is just our general item list, and most of these things can be bound to your square button, and I'll show that off where that is. The second one is a pocket for stones, and stones are what you use to upgrade items. Obviously, at the moment, we have none. Here's our little cache of keys, but as you can see, for some reason, they didn't take the master key off of us when locking us up. thought that was strange, and when I pick up the rest of my gear, it won't make sense why they didn't put your gift on a body. But hey, who am I to judge the game? Here it was where we will see our spells, miracles, and pyromancies. I'll probably start calling them SMPs, spells, miracles, pyromancies, just for short, to save myself some breath, and because I'm gonna once forget to mention pyromancy, and someone's gonna say something. Here is our attack weapons, like anything that can be considered like a weapon or a shield. Basically anything that can be equipped in our L1 or our R1 slots. Left-hand or right-hand slots, I should say, not L1, R1. Here is where I will keep my arrows and bolts at. Here's any type of armor that I will have. A headpiece, a bodysuit, gloves, or boots I will be keeping in this pocket. And then last but not least, we have a little ring slot, so any of our rings can go there. I'm going to make this faster. I'm just going to press R1, but otherwise I'd have to back out and go over one option. So here we are now. You got a brief glimpse of this screen. This is our attack hand. This is our offhand. Here is our bodysuits, which are head, torso, arms, and legs. We have 2 ring slots, so yay. We have 2 bolt slots, 2 arrow slots, and then any of these 5 slots are our square button. Next thing, we now have a full listing of what everything is. We have our level, what soul, how many souls we have, all of our stats, humanity, HP. Yes, there is actual numbers to HP and stamina. Equipment load, I will explain that because that actually plays a very huge role in this game. The weapon damage from our primary R1, our secondary our primary right hand, our secondary right hand, and then same thing, primary left hand, secondary left hand. Our defenses to anything physical, and basically that's the big number you want to keep an eye out for. The rest is whatever. Magic, flame, and lightning. Yay. I will explain what poise, bleed, poison, and curse resist do at the appropriate times as they become necessary. Item discovery is at 100%, so I have, the same chance of finding an item. I don't know why it's 100. I don't know if that number means something specific. I've never seen it get less than 100. So, yep. And attunement slots, attunement in this game is actually how many spells you can have memorized, and any SMP for that matter. And then they will show up here how many we have and what's in them. At the moment, I don't have anything. Last but not least, we have our basic options. So those are the options I'm currently playing with. And I've actually never been able to play without the HUD on, because that also takes away your health meter. And I don't like that. I don't like not knowing how much health I have. That's terrifying to me. Subtitles I'll leave on, showing blood I'll leave on. And then last but not least, brightness. Yes, I do play with it at 10. That's namely because my screen is darker as I'm recording. So with that being said, if I miss something, if I'm not able to see as clearly, that's why. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching, and tune in next episode for actual gameplay. Ta-ta. Aloha, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls with yours truly, me, Delicate Blood. So here are messages written on the ground. You just walk up to them, tap X, and they will give you little hints. Now, at the moment, that doesn't really matter for me because I've already gone over all the controls. So let's get moving on. We've got some guys praying in their cells. A few guys out of their cells, and now these guys won't attack you, even if you, slap them real fast. Nothing. That little circle that you see on them, that is me targeting them, so I can either look around and, oh my goodness, what is that? Well, he doesn't look friendly at all. So I'm going to leave these guys be. Since they're not attacking me, I don't really see the point in killing them. They are worth a certain amount of souls, so you could do that. Man, I don't really have a need for it. And there's better things to kill for souls in this game anyways. So, there's 3 enemies down there. I just ignored them. Now, resting at a bonfire. This is kind of a misleading thing. When it says bonfire lit, that actually doesn't do anything. I mean, it does something much, much, much later in the game, but it's like the halfway point of the game, or when the game really starts to pick up. The big key thing that you need to know is that when you rest at a bonfire, resting at a bonfire will now bind my respawn to this bonfire. It'll also 100% cure me of any status ailments I have and restore my HP up to 100%, along with my stamina. If I have any magics, pyromancies, or sorceries, or miracles, I mean, all of those will be restored up to 100% as well. So, bonfires, very good things. However, they also do respawn all enemies that I've slain. So if I had slain those 3 little dreglings, is what they're called, they would have respawned. Get away. Oh. They must have been from him. So, this game likes to throw you some curveballs. That was terrible. Oh gosh. So, you can sit here and duke it out with him for a while. But as you can see, my punch not doing a whole lot. If I switch over to my left hand, not doing a whole lot either. So what are you supposed to do? You run like a bat out of hell. Nice tiny little doorway. He can't follow us. But since we've taken a little bit of damage, might as well light the bonfire. And then rest at it. Very, very convenient. So here we have an archer who's going to fire arrows at us. Obviously easy enough to dodge. But they do kind of curve in this game, which I thought was a weird thing. They do, like, heat-seek you a little bit, but your arrows won't do the same. But thankfully enough, these glowing bodies means that there is an item that we can pick up off of them. So we will do so. And this is where I'm going to turn on my less nice mode. Get my club on. And go clubbing baby seals. And no, I do not actually need baby seals. I'm pretty sure baby seals are adorable. But clubbing these guys is a lot of fun. Now these fog gates are kind of like progression markers. They, like, nothing really happens when you go through one, but that kind of lets you know that you're going on the right track, and eventually there'll be one that indicates a boss room. Now, this Dark Souls is notoriously known for things like Boulder Traps, so we're going to go the other way, because that way doesn't look too safe. And there's some just more messages, and there's an item up there, but we can't climb up this rubble, and even worse, for some reason, our character is too simple to be able to climb up on that stairwell. So whatever. Guess we'll have to find another way, maybe come down from the top. Oh, nothing to do over this way. Alright, so we can either go up or down. Well, up looks like a trap, but what we can do is activate the trap. Just do a little jump off the stairwell. And yes, there is fall damage in this game. But we'll unlock this, and now we're back to this bonfire. So, let's go take on the Asylum Demon. Oh. Locked by some contraption. Alrighty, I guess we'll have to find another way. Nice, cute hole in the wall from that boulder falling down. Here, I'm going to show off non-basic attacks, so this is going to be called what's a parry, and then a riposte. So I walk up, I block his attack and shoo it away, and then I counterattack, which is a cutscene animation. I don't have to do anything for that. But it does critical damage, and from the front, it's 250%, and there's something in this game called a backstab, which is worth 200% of your weapon damage. And now that thing's locked. So, where are we supposed to go? We've already been around everywhere. That's not true. There's now a hole in this wall, and the way you're supposed to figure out that you're supposed to go in here is that obviously this jail cell with the broken door, you can see that somebody's in there. So we'll go around. Have a nice little chat.
Oh, you. You're no hollow, hmm? Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I were both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Sure.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family, "Thou who art undead art chosen." in thine exodus from the undead asylum, maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite.
So I didn't mean to talk over him. Sorry about that.
Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
So since we've taken a little bit of damage, and now that we have a square item to activate, good as time as any to take a drink. Now we're back up to full health. Now as you can see though, I do have a limited amount. What was that sound? And he's gone. But we did get his souls, so we got 100 souls from him. Yay! So we do have a limited amount of Estus flasks, and thanks to him he also gave us the key to open up this door. There's just some more notes, I'm just going to ignore them for now. Now the Estus flasks, even though I have a limit to them, at Bonfires I replenish them, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense in this game. I wish they had made it like pools of water or something that you rested at, like little oases. But no, the game decided on Bonfires, which I guess makes sense. Oops, I was trying to cause a backstab there. But you'll be seeing me do this a lot, because I do believe you get more souls from doing critical attacks like this. So, not only am I doing it for that reason... Oops, there was some fall damage that I just did to him by falling on top of him. Wow, alright, guess I'm not meant to backstab him. That is okay. But yes, even stabs, if you time it out right, you can parry, and then riposte. Riposte all over your face. Oh, so yeah. It's locked. So somewhere we were supposed to get a key to unlock that door, but I didn't find it, I didn't see it. There's messages, yeah, stand behind somebody for critical damage. Now while falling, you have what's called a plunging attack. Now, I had stated that forward and R2 was a jumping attack, but I also called it a plunging attack. Because if you jump over a ledge, like here, using your R2, it becomes a plunging attack, and it's guaranteed to knock down enemies with low poise, as well as, if the enemy is big enough, like the one in this next room, it's guaranteed to become a critical headshot because you're above them, jumping